Hi, I'm Wendy Lowy Sloan, and this is What's Up with Wendy's podcast. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about myself. I began my career in New York City as a television producer for talk show legends Phil Donahue and Geraldo Rivera. And for the last decade, I've used these experiences to create my unique style in interviewing hundreds of A-list celebrities, newsmakers, comedians, musicians, reality stars, fitness and nutrition experts, best-selling authors, and so much more. So I hope you enjoy this wide variety on my podcast. I hope you'll share and subscribe. And again, thanks for tuning in. My special guest today, his problems went as a child beyond poverty and crime. He was born so pigeon-toes that doctors had to break both bones in his feet when he was only 8 months old to correct the problem. Walking was a major challenge for him. He spent most of his early years in braces. But you won't want to miss his remarkable story. My guest today may be best known as the 4-time Pro Bowl defensive back for the Green Bay Packers. LeRoy Butler is joining me. I promise you won't want to miss his remarkable and inspiring story. Best known as the 4-time Pro Bowl defensive back for the Green Bay Packers, who he played for his entire career, and the creator of the famous Lambeau, I hope I say that right, Leap, which
Lambeau.
has inspired fans for many years. Joining me to talk about his amazing career on the field and making a name for himself now in the kitchen, I am so excited to welcome to my show former 4-time NFL Pro Bowl football star, LeRoy Butler.
Hi, Wendy. How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for being here. Well, I have to tell you, we have something in common.
Oh, okay.
I went to Florida State.
Nice.
Yes.
This already going to be a great interview.
You see that? Back in the day.
Yes, go Noles.
Go Noles. What a fabulous school, right?
Yes, I love Coach Bobby Bowden. He was amazing.
Amazing. I think we just missed each other by a little bit of time. I won't say much, but just a little bit of time, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but those are the best 4 years of my life. I learned a lot at Florida State.
I can't even imagine. I mean, the school my kids are in college now, so they're both at Big Tens. There's nothing like football on that stadium, right?
No question about it, especially the student section. It gets a little rowdy. I tell you what, Wendy, the first time I ever made my famous mac and cheese for the team, Coach Bobby Bowden let me do it. I don't know why, but he said, I heard you're this great mac and cheese guy. Do you want to make it for the team? I say, yeah, but I need certain ingredients. Now, I've learned since then the best cheese is in Wisconsin, okay? We take the state of cheese, Wendy, very seriously. We've been winning more awards than anywhere in the world. As a matter of fact, Wendy, to become a master cheese maker, it takes about 13 years to apply. I mean, shout out to all the doctors out there. We love you, especially during COVID. But it's harder to become a cheese maker. So I was very nervous making it for the team, but I saw them smiling and eating it at Florida State. I was roped in at that point.
Okay, so we're celebrating National Dairy Month and National Cheese Day. So
yes.
tell us about some legendary recipes.
Well, one of the biggest recipes I love, and I think, because I've learned this. This is an education for me and for everybody. Wisconsin is a world of cheese state, just in one state. That's incredible. And I have some Wisconsin queso fresco. You can have some pulled pork or pulled chicken or whatever you want, but the tacos are just endless. Not to mention they have over 600 varieties. So whatever you want to do, we just love doing it. But the education to know that these recipes, and I noticed it, my daughter told me this, Wendy. She said, Dad, you notice that 75% of everything you make has dairy in it or cheese. And I didn't realize that because I use it so much, especially, again, like I've told you before, we take cheese very seriously in Wisconsin.
Very seriously.
Yes.
So tell us, so how are you going to be celebrating National Dairy Month and National Cheese Day?
Well, I got my chef salad cheese board. I have a Wisconsin Asiago, some cheddar, and some Gouda. Again, I talked about the 600 varieties, and I got just truly amazing. It's so healthy looking. It just looks so good. I want to eat it right now. I know we're on radio, you can't see it, but visualize colorful and just the flavor of cheese is just so good. And one of my mom's favorite quotes is tender as a mother's love. So that's a good thing. maybe one of the biggest things about celebrating.
I love that. So what about somebody that has a sweet tooth? What do you
Oh,
have for them?
now the kids are now they sit up. They're like, okay, somebody said sweets, and I have it for them. I have a mixed berry shortcake trifle, full
Mm.
flavored, tangy aged cheddar with sweet fresh berries. Real. I'm gonna repeat that. Real dairy whipped cream. It is to die for. It is amazing. The kids love it. Matter of fact, when they eat it before we eat the entrees, they just because it looks so pretty. So of course, it is truly amazing.
Sounds pretty yummy, I have to say. If you just I'm
Yes.
talking to NFL legend LeRoy Butler. Do you still what do you how is it now when you watch the Packers?
I tell you what, as for a player and a fan, it's different. As players, they missed that play. He should have did this. He should have intercepted the pass. He should have did this. Of course, I want them to win the Super Bowl every year, Wendy. So last year, I was heartbroken when the Packers lost to Tampa Bay. But
Yeah.
again, it's a new year. But the fans excited because we're going to have 100% capacity, assuming in the fall. So fans are very excited.
Oh my God, so excited, right? Is
Yes,
it
yes.
do you still get chills when you watch the game?
It depends who I watch it with. If I watch it with some other former players, yes, it's like being in the game. We're yelling, screaming, they're throwing stuff.
Aw.
But if I'm watching it with my wife and my kids, they'll ask questions. Okay, well, why did this happen? And that's almost like an educational thing. And I
Right.
like doing that as well. So somewhere in between.
It's amazing. 12 seasons with the Packers, 953 tackles, 38 interceptions, 553 return yards, 12 fumble recoveries, 3 defensive touchdowns, 20 and a half sacks. You led the team for interceptions in 5 different seasons. At the first defensive back NFL in history to gain in the 20s sacks, 20 interceptions club. You have a Super Bowl ring. You beat the New England Patriots. Yay for that.
Yay!
I mean, I'm not saying my favorites, but I'm just happy about that. But
Yes,
can we talk about your childhood? Because I think it's really
please.
important for people for the young kids and for people that are disabled and people that have difficulties with one thing or another. You were born pigeon-toed, and
Yes,
doctors had to break your bones in both feet when you were just 8 months old, and you had a major problem walking.
yes. Yeah, it was tough for me, Wendy. But again, I was a special needs student growing up, and my teachers, special shout out to all the special needs teachers, and my mom kept me focused. I used to be in a wheelchair, and I told my mom, "I'm playing in the NFL to get you out of this poverty-stricken project," and it worked for me. So God was good. But I just want all the special needs kids out there and parents to know you're not alone. My son is dealing, he's on the spectrum. He may never do a Lambeau Leap or he may never do the punt rooski, but he will be a great kid. And I just want people to know you can get my book, of course, Wheelchair, the Lambeau Leap, the LeRoy Butler story, and it talks a lot about my childhood. And I'm so very, very excited.
Yeah, I didn't know that whole story about you when I was reading
Yeah.
about you. And then it was just like as it wrote, fate would have it. You were just 8 years old and you realized that you no longer needed your leg brace. And can you share that story with us real quick, Leroy?
Yeah, it was kind of funny when my sister was late for the prom and she's coming down and she kind of runs and she knocks me out of the wheelchair and my braces break. And they were like the Forrest Gump braces when he was in that movie with Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
And I was standing, walking, interacting, and my mom was like, what's going on? And we went back to the doctor, the children's hospital at the time, and they said, well, he's really still pigeon-toed his left foot, but he don't need them anymore. Let's just, you're good. Just go. And I had a late jump on sports. But for the most part, my mom said, you got plenty of time. Everything is fine. She always calmed my anxiety because I wanted to get in the pool. I couldn't. I wanted to get on the top bunk bed. I couldn't. I wanted to go
Right.
upstairs. I couldn't. She said, you got plenty of time to do those things. That really calmed me down to really understand what my life is all about. And that was getting my mom to the next level and playing in the NFL.
It's pretty unbelievable. So you just so and you all you so you went out there and you started playing kickball. By the time
Yeah.
you were 10 years
You
old,
remember
you were in the
kickball?
neighborhood football team. Did you ever think that did you ever think that when you had those leg braces on, was it just your mom that kept you calm saying that one day you'd get out of these?
Great question, Wendy. It really is a superior question because you would think most kids, when you're going through this disability, that you don't have a chance. I mean, they used to not pick me on the playground because they were playing all this. But one day, my teacher said, "Listen, everybody has to be involved when we do all these teams." And I said, "You know what? I don't really, I can play, but for the most part, can you help me read?" And she really kind of teach me how to kick the ball for kickball, and the other half of recess, she taught me how to read. So my teachers were very instrumental. If I ever get into the Hall of Fame, when it happens, I'm going to talk about my parents, of course, grandparents. I definitely want to talk about my teachers because I spent 11 hours a day with my teachers. So they were very, very instrumental in me making it.
I have to say it's amazing. I've always said that if the teachers, we owe so much to them, right?
Yes,
Because
yes.
they could influence our life. There's just that one special teacher that could just make a difference for all of us. I had
No
that with my
question.
third grade teacher, and it seems like you had that with yours. And thank God you did. And you had so much support and so much love around this because look where it brought you.
Yes, because in high school it was rough for Miss Gordon. I remember her because kids were picking on me because I wore hand-me-downs, and she said it's not about what you wear; it's how you act what you're wearing. I said, "What do you
Oh.
mean? Break that down a little bit." She said, "Just carry yourself as a great young man. It doesn't matter because you'll do great things. They don't even know what you had on 2 days ago. Who cares about that? You're not in school for a fashion show. You're in school to do what you told me you wanted to do, and that's get your mom out of the projects and get to the NFL." So I was laser focused on doing that.
Isn't that amazing? And look what a career you went on to have.
Yes, yes.
So
But I really appreciate that.
you still hang out with the guys?
Oh yeah, we do a group text, and that's one thing, Wendy, that
Oh,
COVID has taught us. I group text with my college buddies at Florida State. Again, go Noles.
go Knowles.
And I group text with my guys up in Green Bay, of course, that play. And this is the 25-year anniversary from Super Bowl 31. And also I have one more group text. My guy John Anderson at ESPN, become very familiar with Hartford. I used to work for ESPN a while back, and so I just learned to reach out and check on my friends, not to wait for them to be sick, but to check on them. So we do that quite a bit.
That's so nice. That's super nice.
Yeah, thank you so much, Wendy. I
That's
really
pretty
appreciate it.
amazing. The best memories probably are those buddies that you'll have for life, right?
No question about it. I really appreciate it. We got to get to another interview, Wendy, but I
Okay,
really
thank you
appreciate it.
so much.
But
Thank you so much, LeRoy Butler.
I want to say WisconsinCheese.com. You can find all my recipes there. And again, thank you so much, Wendy, for the interview.
Yeah, thanks so much, LeRoy. You got it. Thanks for
Thank
sharing
you.
your story. My guest today, nationally recognized health expert, nutritionist, New York Times bestselling author, she has helped thousands of women across America lose weight and feel incredible with her health recipes and smart diet and nutrition advice. She was also the food and nutrition director at Health Magazine for nearly 8 years, joining me to talk about choosing tips that are healthier options for us and so much more. I'm thrilled to welcome Frances Largeman-Roth.
Oh, thanks for having me, Wendy. I'm thrilled to be here.
Oh my God, I'm thrilled to have you because we all need this kind of advice and this kind of health tips in our life, obviously. And especially now with summer and coming off of COVID and everyone's like getting back to life in some way, which is kind of odd, right? In the first place.
Mm-hmm.
It feels strange, but what is your top go-to recommendations for smart snacking?
Well, first of all, you have to be prepared, right? Because if you don't have the healthy ingredients on hand, then really you're leaving yourself no choice. You're going to be reaching for the added
Chips.
sugar snacks and the super processed stuff and whatever it is that's around when you start to get hangry. So I love nuts. I'm a big nut snacker, but walnuts specifically because they are the only nut that is an excellent source of omega-3 fatty acids, which may help to support brain health. And 1 ounce of walnuts has 4 grams of protein, 2 grams of fiber, and 2.5 grams of those really important ALA omega-3 fatty acids. And the research really shows that there is a link between these healthy fats and supporting brain health. And it actually is Brain Health Month this month. And you can use walnuts in so many different ways, not just in baking, but you can use them in savory recipes. We have 3 beautiful dips here today that are all made with walnuts, and obviously you can